Hello, this is Jeff Malone. The X is silent, here with a review of the January 14th, 2012 episode of Saturday Night Live, hosted by Daniel Radcliffe, with musical guest Lana Del Rey. The opening sketch was a message from Mitt Romney, and Jason Sudeikis as Mitt Romney doesn't know how to talk like a normal human being. This sketch gets a B for whatever. Dan Radcliffe's monologue, good attitude. B. Well, let's see, a series of promo clips for shows hosted by Ricky Gervais. This was a good sketch. Not really. Well, only partially. C. Target Great Land. Kristen Wiig's crazy Target lady. The best phrase in this sketch regarding weddings was "the hits of today," and so that sketch gets a B-. And then we had the talk show "You Can Do Anything," featuring internet celebrities. And the question I have is, but is Chinese calligraphy combined with Irish dancing actually legitimately entertaining? A C+. And then Spin the Bottle, which seemed to be a digital short, though it wasn't introduced as such, where Dave, as played by Dan Radcliffe, keeps spinning the bottle, it keeps ending up on some hobos. And the best repeated line, sort of an unsung hero line, was with Vanessa with her "It's the rules, Dave. Those are the rules." And Keenan's line is the hobo who said, "If you're a spaceman, you legally have to tell me." It was also pretty great. I originally gave this sketch a C. Because it just didn't hit me. But then I just watched it again right before I started filming this video, and I laughed several times, so maybe it was better than C. Maybe B-. Anyway, then we had Delaware Fellas, a parody of Jersey Boys. Well, at least Joe Biden likes it. C+. And then we had the Hogwarts 2020 bit, the mandatory Harry Potter sketch. And the best impression here was Nassim as best and most surprising impression was Nassim as Luna Lovegood, and that sketch gets a B-. Then Lana Del Rey with her first performance of the night, video games. Now, a lot has been said on the Twitterverse and elsewhere on the interwebs about Lana's performance already. And I've got plenty to say about it. But let's just leave it at right now. I'm leaning towards the belief that it was meant to be as awkwardly bizarre as it turned out to be. That was, in fact, what Lana Del Rey was going for. Anyway, on to Weekend Update. That 5-second Raoul line, that was actually a decent pun. But overall, Seth gets a C from me. Then we had Kim Jong-un's two best friends from growing up, who seem very similar to Gaddafi's two best friends from growing up. The things they were saying were funny, but they could be used. Those are things that could be used to describe any dictator, really. So that gets a B-. And then Dan Radcliffe showed up on Update as Casey Anthony's dog. Now, I have to force myself to look past the my lack of desire to see the umpteenth appearance of a Weekend Update correspondent of someone in an animal costume, excuse me. But anyway, the best line of this bit was, or more tellingly, "I am not Casey Anthony." So that think it's a C+ out of me. And then we had the performance of some play at the X27B Theater in the year 2112. And certainly the most memorable line of that sketch was, "Stop watching that video of a penis going into a woman's butt." So that sketch gets a B-. Then we had the Glenda Combs for Mayor commercials, the first two which aired consecutively, only with the commercial break in between them, which is a little odd, and then the second and the third one had the Jay Pharoah sketch in between them. Glenda Combs airs some attack ads on herself, and it felt kind of endless. And there were a few good jokes. Having a favorite daughter from the second commercial stood out, so I give these a C- and then a C for the second one and a C-, and I was glad to see them finished. Okay, the Jay Pharoah show, where Jay Pharoah, he plays himself. He's interviewing Daniel Radcliffe. He can't think of anything to do. He doesn't know how to actually interview his guests, so he just shows off his impressions. This just felt too real. It wasn't imaginative enough. But it did paint an accurate picture. So I gave it a B-. Then Lana Del Rey's second performance, Blue Jeans. Now, if this were her only performance of the night, I don't think the uproar over her appearance would have been as crazy as it was. This one was still weird, but it was definitely decent. I gave it a B. And then the last sketch of the night, actually second to last sketch, excuse me, was the exit poll, where Kristen Wiig played in someone asking some questions to Dan Radcliffe's character after he voted in the primary. And the best dramatic pause of this sketch was during the question, "Are you 18 to 25? Or 26 to 150? And the last sketch of the night was the commercial for the Heads Up app, in which people's phones let them know when oncoming traffic or an elevator is in their path, and that they might want to lift their head up a bit. It didn't go far enough. I would have, just would have loved it if the Heads Up app had to remind people of even simpler and yet more outrageous things, like don't forget to put your toothbrush down after you're done brushing your teeth, or whatever. It just felt like it was done too quickly. So I gave that one a B-. Overall, this was the worst episode of the season, and it was not Daniel Radcliffe's fault. He certainly wanted this to be a great episode. I don't know what was going on here. Things just seemed off. It wasn't incredibly bad. It's just like everything so much felt like a missed opportunity. Like so many sketches felt like they could have been better. So that's, I guess, a better sort of bad episode than your typical bad episode from the 80 to 81 season and 94 to 95 season, where the material was just plain bad. I mean, the writing was bad here, but it wasn't that the ideas were bad, necessarily. So, SNL will be taking 2 weeks off, and then the next new episode will be on February 4th with host Channing Tatum, who is in about 10 movies this year, and musical guest Bon Iver. So I'll see you then. In the meantime, check out the blog, the Twitter, the Facebook, the what have you.